Hi, everyone. Welcome to the CALI Culture Podcast, episode 19, featuring guest Bianca Arango, who is a Colombian American who currently resides in California, USA. Now, Bianca has been a teacher for many years. In fact, she is an educator with over 10 years of teaching experience. I have a lot of topics to talk to Bianca today, so you want to listen in this show entirely. We're going to talk about tourism, safety, the World Cup, and of course, the runoff election in Colombia that's occurring this Sunday. So you don't want to miss this show. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 19, listen, learn, and enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the CALI Culture Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Preston. This is the only podcast in the air to discuss everything and anything about Cali, Colombia. It's very good to have you today. We have another great show for you, another guest, and I'm going to introduce her in a minute. But before I do, I want you to know, first of all, Viva Colombia. The Colombian won their first team game and a very impressive win. So, very congratulations to the Colombia team, and I hope they continue their success. I hope the USA continues their success as well, but definitely congratulations to the Colombian team for their first win in the World Cup. Now, let's get to the show. Special guest today, she currently lives in California, and she's a teacher, which we cannot have enough teachers in this world. So she is extremely important to our society in the U.S. She lives in California. And without further ado, let's bring our guest on stage, Bianca Arango. Welcome, Bianca, to the
Thank
Catholic
you.
Culture Podcast.
Appreciate you having me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. It's great that you're here. First thing I want to say is you're a big supporter of the Cali Culture Podcast and the Cali Culture platform that is motivating people, that's educating people about Colombia, moving away from the stereotypes and showing people the positive, wonderful culture in Cali, Colombia. So I appreciate your support.
You're welcome. It's an honor.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So let's just get right into it. I'd like to start with you telling the viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you currently live, the city that you currently live, and what you do for work.
Okay, well, I was born in Oakland, California, and lived there until I was about 3 years old. And then I moved with my father and my mother. My father is Colombian and my mother is American. And we moved to Cali. And I lived there in Cali with my mother and my father until I was about 6. And then sadly there was a separation involved, and my mother, my sister, and I, we came back to California, and then lived in a small town called Lamont, which is about 20 minutes from where I currently live. And now I live in Bakersfield, Central California. And yeah.
Great. Now
Mhm.
let's talk about from California to Cali back to California. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Do you remember anything about Cali as a very, very young girl?
Sadly, I do not. But my mom has all these stories that I would go with my dad. We'd ride around. He had a motorcycle. Drive around Cali in the motorcycle and see all the different sites. Remember, he told me that I enjoyed going to it's a train station, which I believe there's still a train station there in
Mhm.
Cali. And I was really close to my father. Because I was so young, I don't remember a lot, but I've heard stories from my mother and my father, and we were very, very close. So when we came back, well, my mom, my sister, and I, it must have been very traumatizing to me because I miss my father. I did miss him very much, and then after he would come visit us, he would come from Cali to Bakersfield every 2 to 3 years to visit us, and I lived for those visits. They were everything. And then in high school, my sophomore year and half my junior year, I actually moved back to Cali with my father, and it wasn't very easy because I had to relearn Spanish. I had unlearned Spanish. I relearned Spanish. I assimilated again to the culture,
Mhm.
and that's where I really realized my love and my and how wonderful Kali was, and then reestablishing that relationship with my father, and so that was pretty amazing. And then my junior year, I came back to California to finish off high school.
Now, I was as you were talking, I was thinking about the fact that the key word you said was assimilate.
Hmm.
Cali and California, USA, those are completely two different cultures. I always say there's a different culture in California than even the
Hmm.
rest of the United States. So,
Hmm.
can you just dig a little further into that as far as how hard was that to assimilate as a teenager going back to Cali, Colombia,
Hmm.
and like you said, trying to learn the Spanish there because I mean, obviously in California there are a lot of speaking people.
Yes.
Going back to
Yes.
Cali, there is a slight, well, I won't even say slight. There's a dialect difference
Hmm.
in Espanol in Cali. So how difficult
Definitely.
is that to learn?
Well, as far as the language goes, nouns weren't too bad, but the verbs, conjugating the verbs was very difficult for me. And
Hmm.
I would just always say, like for something for the next day, I'd say "yo voy a." I would never use the future tense verb because I didn't know it yet. I was still learning it, and it was a little bit. It was a struggle because people are they're giggling because you're saying the words all incorrectly. But I remember my father saying, because he calls me, my middle name is Cielo. He's like, Bianca Cielo. He's like, you got to keep practicing. And I'm like, well, they're laughing. And he's like, they're laughing with you. I go, no, they're laughing at me, but it's okay. And the other part, other than the language, it was just very. I feel like I had fun all the time. I'm not to
Mhm.
say that I didn't have fun in California and Bakersfield, but it was like I was seeing Kali through new eyes because I was so young when I lived there earlier, and I had all these wonderful experiences,
Mhm.
but it was like the first time I was there, and my father, he's very adventurous. We went to all these different places. He's a scuba diving instructor, so we would go
Oh.
to lakes and the ocean, and I learned how to scuba dive and well,
Mm.
snorkel, and it was um it was fun. I felt like it was just fun all the time. I mean,
Mhm.
the Spanish part was a little bit difficult,
Mhm.
but everything else, I just felt like it was an adventure. But going to school, the school that I went to is Colegio Jefferson, which is a bilingual school in Cali, and it went back then. It was very very small,
Mhm.
and every subject was in English except for Spanish literature and then the math classes. And
Mhm.
so that was a little bit difficult because sometimes I'm not very math is not really my subject, and the literature, it was Spanish literature, so that was a little bit difficult because I was relearning Spanish, and the
Mhm.
literature, it's in Spanish and it's a higher level of
Mhm.
language. It's formal, and so but I met a lot of good friends, and I had it was fun. It was fun.
So, what do you think is the most interesting and unique things? I say that plural about the culture in Cali.
What I really think that's interesting in Kali is just the way the people view life.
Hmm.
They view life as, you're there to spend wonderful times with family members, special occasions. And yes, you have a job, and yes, you need to go to work and, you know, um, pay the bills, which is, like what you need to do worldwide. But there, I feel like there's more of a priority on just enjoying life, enjoying the people in your life, enjoying your circle, enjoying, and it's not just your immediate circle. It's like everybody is like family with everybody. I love that. I noticed that right off the bat when I moved there for a year and a half during high school. I was like, everybody, they're so kind to each other. There's a
Hmm.
camaraderie, always a camaraderie, no matter where you are, no matter where you're traveling, no matter
Right.
what the level of what the walk of life, whether they
Mhm.
have. these very, very, wealthy individuals, the middle
Hmm.
class, or even people that don't have a lot of money. They were
Hmm.
very welcoming, and I always felt like I belonged, like I was accepted, even though I was struggling learning how to talk Spanish, and maybe I did some things that because you have your protocol, your norms of how you live in different places, but I feel like it's the people and
Yeah.
their like camaraderie for each other, their
Hmm.
love and support. It's like a single. Everybody is doing their things and their family, but they're all doing it to the common good of the country and the
Right.
common good of each other. And
Hmm.
yeah, that's a big part of it.
I totally agree. And we talked about this off air. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that people always ask me, why do I love Cali? Like, of all the people, why do you love Cali? And
Mm-hmm.
and I tell them, sometimes it's hard to describe. You have to have experienced the culture to be able to
Mm-hmm.
understand. But I agree with you 100%, Bianca. It is the people, and it is the. It's not a carefree attitude or carefree behavior in life. It's more of a priority of life. The family, relaxing, enjoying is
Mm-hmm.
wealth. We
Mm-hmm.
in America, we think wealth is in terms of money and how many houses and cars and jewelry that you
Yes.
have. And I find that I say 9 times out of 10, most people in Cali really value happiness, family, community, friends,
Yes.
dancing. Those things is what they put over money,
Yes.
which is where I am in life. Being younger, when you were younger, you just wanted what house, car. You want that what we traditionally call the American dream, the house on the hill, and all of that. And as you get older, you realize that, okay, well, maybe it's not that. Maybe I missed the mark. So I totally agree with you in regards to those significant things in Cali, because that's
Mm-hmm.
that's that's why Cali, I call it my second home.
Yes. It's there's no I mean, I to me it's the best place in the world. I
Yes.
seriously say that. I mean, I'm probably biased too because my father lives there, but I
Hmm.
mean, it's just like, for example, when you go to like, if you go to the Calle de Sabor, where you can,
Hmm.
everybody's dancing on the streets, and there's just like an energy, like a vibe, but it's from the people. they're
Yeah.
they're creating that energy because
Great.
they're having so much fun, and they're just like, and you can tell people there from all walks of life, but
Hmm.
they're unifying together to celebrate life, to celebrate,
Great.
that we're alive, and
Hmm.
I get goosebumps every time. I feel like when I'm there, it's like I feel like I'm in a dream because
I, I agree,
yeah, yeah.
100%. Every time I go there on a Friday night, I think
Hmm.
the experience is always the same. You know how like you go to a nightclub or a discotheque, and then it's like Friday night was good, but then Saturday night wasn't good. Every time I've been there on a
Hmm.
Friday night, it's that same high level energy, and
Yes.
it's just amazing. The thing is, a lot of people say like in Brazil has the carnival that
Hmm.
happens once a year. That carnival, the small mini carnival, happens every Friday in Cali.
Definitely. It's
Amazing.
always packed. So many
Always.
people are there.
Hmm.
I mean, I've never got there early. I've gone with my father before. I've gone with friends, and I mean, it's just everybody wants to be there. I
Yeah.
mean, they just want to. Yeah, it's always packed. It's never a dull moment. It's filled with action and
Hmm.
the music and the people just smiling and laughing, and
Hmm.
I mean, they're playing their instruments. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I have a cowbell. I'm like, I need to take the cowbell when I go next and just join in.
Exactly. Exactly. So what are three things that are either in the Cali culture or the food or the landscape that you wish were in the United States? Three things in Cali that you wish were definitely in the US that you can experience in the US.
Well, I feel like one, I mean, although we do have fruit is worldwide, right? But the fruit in Cali, I mean, it's everywhere you go. You can get it anywhere, and not only can you
Hmm.
get it anywhere, the flavor. Oh my God, that's a big deal for me. I'm a foodie, so
Hmm.
so that's a big deal for me. And the fruit, the way they sell them on the corner. I mean,
Yeah.
also like avocados, which is a fruit too. I mean, the lady with the big huge metal or stainless steel bowl on her
Hmm.
head, and they're calling out, and you might see that a little bit here, but not to the extent that it is there. It's just um it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful.
Hmm.
And not only is it, yet the fruit is delicious, but that is part of the culture. You go
Hmm.
down to the street vendors, or they'll even, like, you hear them calling, they're like advertising what they're selling.
Yeah.
And you hear it loud. You just open your window, you're like, "Hey, I'll be right down." And
Hmm.
that's something that I don't see here. I mean, especially, I mean, here in Bakersfield. And it's people are going from different homes in the residential area together, and that's another way of how that they, they have that community with each other. Because the fruit, I mean, I'm kind of, maybe I'm
Yeah.
going, but it relates, right? It relates to that.
Hmm.
Let's see, another one. I would say, I really think it's wonderful how families, when it's the weekends, they really
Hmm.
take the time
Yes.
to relax. They
Yes.
really they don't
Yes.
just, say, "Oh, well, we're going to for 1 hour we're going to do something." No, you're going to a finca. You're going to
Yeah.
somebody's home, a little country
Hmm.
home outside on the outskirts of Cali, or you're going to the river, you're going to
Hmm.
Ponce, you're
Yep.
going to kilometro 18, kilometer
Right.
18 to go. I mean, and then there everywhere you go, though, it's a different scene, but
Hmm.
everybody, the goal is like, we're going to relax, but we're also going to spend time with each other, and like
Yeah. Yeah.
recalibrate, catch up with each other. Have
Hmm.
you been? And it's more in depth than just a phone call or a text message, because you're together, you're spending time. They'll have their food, they
Hmm.
make their sancocho, they make all these different things. And or if not, if you don't make your family doesn't make food, you go somewhere, whatever close town you're by, and there's a stand, they're making food right there. And they really know how to enjoy and relax with each other and rest. And the
Hmm.
weekend, especially Sunday, I mean, everything shuts down on Sunday.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, it's
That's
like
so
ghost
true.
town. It
Yeah.
gets really quiet.
Yeah.
And let's see, a third. Hmm. I like how one thing that I really love, and I guess you could see that to a point, to an extent here. They really value their elders. The elders
Yes.
are very they're held in very high regards and esteem,
Hmm.
and they really take. I mean, they take care of them. I mean, they
Yeah.
really, like, it's like, you took care of us all our lives, so we're going to take care of you. You'll see a lot of families that have the mother-in-law or the father, the mother living with them. And
Hmm.
I just think that's really beautiful. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen here. Of course, it does
Yeah.
in the U.S. as well. But I see that a lot. I saw a lot of, like, I don't think I've ever seen. I don't even know if they even have homes like they do here. For
Hmm.
elderly people, they
Right.
might, that are, maybe medically have medical issues and they need support. But
Hmm.
pretty much, they and that goes back to family. Value family is everything.
Hmm.
We're a unit, and we stay together, and we support each other.
Well, you touched on some really, really good points. And I just kind of want to emphasize some of those things. First of all, the fruit. The fact that there's so many fruits that I didn't know about up until going to Cali is
Hmm.
amazing. I never heard of papaya up until going to Cali. Living there, going there, and visiting. There's so many other fruits that I've never heard of up until I've been there. And you're exactly right. They are fresh with not all of the hormones and steroids that they're putting in our fruit in America.
Yes.
This fruit in America, yes, it lasts longer, but they're pumping it up with chemicals.
No flavor. No flavor
No
whatsoever. I
flavor
stopped buying
whatsoever.
it.
Yeah. And these
Hmm.
chemicals, they know are harmful to the human body. And
Hmm.
so when you go to Cali and I go to one of those fruit stands, then it's like, oh, yes, this is fresh fruit. And I don't have to worry about the chemicals. And you can
Hmm.
get all of the benefits, the digestive benefits. There's all kind of benefits to eating this fruit. Some of the fruit
Hmm.
gives you energy. I mean, some of it is used for a lot of things. So
Yes.
you're exactly right. The fruit is amazing. Yes, you're exactly right. The family, it is amazing that I've been to the Ponce River and I've seen the families out in the
Mm-hmm.
river relaxing. Um, it's amazing. It's very a family oriented community and culture there.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yes.
amazing. You're exactly right. On Sundays, the rivers are packed. Everybody's in the park. They're relaxing in the park. People are
Mm-hmm.
walking. People are
Mm-hmm.
jogging. People are walking their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's sort of a carefree life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like, you look at your bank account and you look at that, you're like, which one is more important? I think that is more important because I
Mm-hmm.
always say you only live once. You can't rewind this thing. And so
True.
those family moments are extremely important. I 100% agree with you. And last but not least, you did mention, uh, the elderly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the elderly are treated with so much more respect in Cali. I've observed it
Mm-hmm.
out of my own eyes,
Mm-hmm.
where there will be a small, what we would call mom and pop restaurant or business,
Mm-hmm.
and the grandmother, or even in some cases a great grandmother, is
Mm-hmm.
also still helping out.
Yes.
I saw this out of my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Actually near the stadium. I can't remember what the area is called, but near the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And Bianca, it was amazing that I saw it was like three generations of the family were operating this small mom and pop restaurant. It was
Wonderful.
absolutely amazing. That's just something you rarely will see in the U.S. Um,
True.
Absolutely amazing. Now let's transition our conversation to the World Cup. You know that the World Cup is happening. The
Mm-hmm.
Colombia national team won their first victory. They won their first game. Um, the U.S. won their second game yesterday, I believe, beat Australia. This World Cup is bringing so much money to the U.S., Bianca,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. But as a whole, as um, as a whole, what do you think the World Cup does for the world as a whole?
I feel that it really brings people together. I
Hmm.
mean, of course, you're united, but even if it's somebody that's not doesn't know a lot about soccer per se, it just helps you to be like focused on a common good, and life. No matter where you live in the world, is can be difficult. There's so many concerns, and it's just to make sometimes make ends meet with inflation, and which could happen in any country. But it helps the people just build that camaraderie again, and be with friends and family, because usually you're not watching it by yourself. You're
Hmm.
watching it with at least a group of people, and it just helps you build those relationships. And even though, like I said, it's a worldwide event, but I think it just again brings people together, and we're built to be. We need that community. I mean, we're
Right.
not meant to be isolated, and then it also helps you think about how proud you are of your country, or the country that you want to move to, and it just you get hyped up and everybody's happy, and for a minute you're just focused on that, and I think it's a healthy escape. It's a healthy escape. Some escapes are not healthy, but this one is a healthy escape.
100% agree with that. Um,
Hmm.
did you get a chance to watch the first game, Colombia's first game?
I only watched bits and pieces.
Hmm.
Sadly, I was not able to get it. I was trying to find it streamed on my phone, and I
Yeah.
wasn't able to. But my goal is to watch it. Just go somewhere and watch it next time. I need to watch it live. Right there.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, they're playing the 23rd. I will say there's certain cities where it's hard to find sports bars or bars or restaurants
Hmm.
that play that will show the game.
Hmm.
I happen to live in one of those cities. I live in Augusta, Georgia, which is about 2.5 hours from Atlanta. Now,
Okay.
Atlanta, there's a huge Colombian population there.
Hmm.
So it's easy to find sports bars, and even there's one actual. It's going to be a party this Wednesday at a stadium. watch party.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. I think I posted it on
You
Instagram.
did. I
I did
saw that.
post it on Instagram, and so there's some cities, like Atlanta, Houston, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Dallas, that it's easy to find like watch parties and bars, and then there's some cities like where I live in where it's like there's select bars you have to go to watch
Yes.
the games, and even at that, if there's a baseball game on, they're not wanting to show the football game. So, do
Yes.
you
And
have your favorite place, bar or whatever, to watch the game, or are you planning on watching it at your home?
I think I'm gonna go to this one place. It's owned. It's locally owned, and
Hmm.
the owners are uh, Mexican American.
Hmm.
So I know, and they have that, in the bar area. It's a restaurant and a bar. So the
Hmm.
bar is kind of separate. They have the screens, and there's actually two places. So I either one of those I'll go to, and I know that it's because I'm here in Bakersfield. There's a high percentage of Mexicanos,
Hmm.
Mexican Americans, Mexican Americans, and Mexicans, and we're getting more. We have getting a higher percentage also of people from like Guatemala,
Oh,
Salvador,
cool.
and so it behooves the places to show the games because
Yeah,
they know people are going to go and they're going to stay for the whole thing, and that's helps them out financially. The businesses. So
absolutely.
so I didn't answer your question directly, but two different places I'm thinking about going to, one or the other. See what the
Good,
mm-hmm.
good. It's good to have options.
Yes.
Um, Colombia's team. I did watch most of the game. They
Mm,
are looking good right now. They got
yes.
off to a rough start in the first game, but came back strong, and won strong. You know, so I think they're playing the Congo on Wednesday, and
Okay.
I think it'll be a good game. But I think they'll be victorious. Any predictions on that?
Well, go Colombia. Go Colombia's gonna win. I mean, that's what we're focused on. Go Colombia. I did see a quick snip of they were talking about how this year's this Cups team has a unique makeup, that they have a
Hmm.
few players that had played years ago. They're like the veterans, but they're
Yeah.
still healthy, and
Hmm.
I don't remember all the names, and so you have that wisdom coming from, they've been there, they
Hmm.
know what, I mean, of course every game and every World Cup's going to be different, but they
Hmm.
have the strategies that they can like teach the newer players. And so they were saying that that's a huge advantage for Colombia because you have the experience of years, and then you have the fresh, the vitality of the new players. So I think that's going to take them, I hope, all the way to the end.
Yeah, I think they're definitely contenders, and I agree with that. And the fact that you had a lot of players that played 2 years ago in the Copa finals
Hmm.
against Argentina, and they
Hmm.
narrowly lost that game. I think they
Hmm.
learned from that, and I think they're like you said, they have a lot of experience. They have veteran players, they have younger players, and
Hmm.
now it's a matter of the right coaching and then just to stay
Hmm.
in cohesion, the right
Hmm.
chemistry.
Definitely, I agree.
Now let's talk about something else that's really big that's happening actually tomorrow in Colombia, and that is the runoff election. So it seems like all eyes are pointed to Colombia right now for various reasons. Obviously, because they have a great football team, but
Yes.
also the election is tomorrow. Um,
Hmm.
and so, you know, I, I always like to ask my guests, what are your general thoughts in regards to the election? You can answer this as much or little as you want to, but what are
Hmm.
your general thoughts on the election tomorrow and what Colombia is facing?
I feel that, of course, I speak to my father about these things, and he's very, you know, debated about what he wants, but what he
Hmm.
would like to, but whoever wins, it's gonna take the country. I feel like in different directions.
Hmm.
And the country, Colombia, I mean, it has the Amazon, and those are the lungs of the planet, and
Yeah.
I'm not the whole portion of the Amazon, but there's so many national parks in Colombia. There's so many, whether it be the mountains or the oceans. There's national parks all over Colombia, and
Mhm.
so I feel like whoever gets elected, that's going to be a lot like how that politician feels about the taking care of the country. As far as its resources, its natural resources. And
Mhm.
so I feel like it's gonna affect that. And then also the just how people live, the
Mhm.
quality of life, also the job market.
Mhm.
I know they've had issues with unemployment has been very high, and
Yeah.
so hopefully that will who the person that is going to win will remedy that. Of course, that can't happen overnight, but
Mhm.
have really good strategies to make sure that people are working
Right.
and then the people that maybe are not able to work due to whatever their circumstances, that they can get the help that they need. So it's the welfare
Mhm.
of the people too. Not so it's the land, it's the oceans, it's the mountains, all the different topography that is so amazing about Colombia, that it has
Right.
everything. But then you have the people, that their
Mhm.
quality of life, no matter where they are, whether they're wealthy or whether
Mhm.
they are very maybe lacking in financial
Mhm.
resources, but everybody should have, the I feel like the government's job is to take care of its people, and
Absolutely.
so I just hope that whoever I yeah, that's going to affect all those areas and then some that I more detailed stuff that I'm not even sure about because the deep ins and outs of Colombia and what's going on. Well, there's a
Mhm.
lot of issues going on. You have the left groups,
Mhm.
you have so many things, and but the people are what makes the country, and I'm hoping that it's the person that wins does what's best for the country and for the people.
And I second that, by the way.
Hmm.
As an expat, American expat that frequently uh, is in Cali, uh,
Hmm.
that owns property, that has a visa, etc. I definitely want what's best for Colombia. Colombia is a beautiful country. The people are beautiful. Like you said, the Amazon is beautiful. There's so many great aspects to Colombia, and you want to keep those aspects and maintain those aspects and improve situations as
Hmm.
well. And you
Hmm.
said it best, inflation, unemployment. There's a lot of issues, economic issues in Colombia that need to be
Hmm.
addressed.
Hmm.
A lot of people, and I've seen this, I've seen an increase in people that are homeless in Colombia.
Hmm.
I've seen, like, literally in the last 2 or 3 years, it seems like it's been an increase in the people I see on the streets,
Hmm.
sleeping on the streets. And so there are issues. There are also safety issues. Let's be honest,
Hmm.
right? There's also
Hmm.
safety issues in Colombia
Hmm.
that need to be addressed. And so I think whoever the person that gets elected has a significant job that they should take that he should take seriously, and really, like you said, work for the people, not to put money in his pocket, but work for the
Hmm.
people, serve the
Hmm.
people. So let's
Hmm.
just hope that happens. I mean, with politics, it's always interesting, even like in our own country here in America.
Hmm.
A lot of
Hmm.
promises sometimes don't happen, but hopefully the right person will get elected and will hit the ground running to solve some of these issues.
I agree. I have a question. Do you know when the person, whoever gets elected, when they start their time in office? Do you know when that happens?
I believe it's mid-August, is what to my understanding.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
it's really quick. It's like for us, it's typically like November, and then the person starts what, January the 5th or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and um, yeah, I mean they almost start like what, 3 weeks later or whatever. About a month later, basically,
Mm-hmm.
to my understanding, which would be appropriate because as you know, they only have one term. The presidents only have one term in Colombia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, it's even more of a motivation to get in there and hit the ground running.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, uh, no halftime shows. Hit the ground
Mm-hmm.
running
Mm-hmm.
and help us to solve issues, because you literally have about 3.5 years to do things. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's going to be interesting, Bianca. And like I said, I'm eagerly waiting along with many other people, and obviously the people of Colombia. So we will see.
Yes.
Now let's transition our conversation to tourism, which is something that is a pet peeve of mine and something that I'm passionate about, as you know. Um, there's tourism that is good, and then there's tourism that is bad. I always like to distinguish myself clearly and effectively to be able to say I am for good tourism. What
Yes.
is good tourism? I always try to emphasize that good tourism is going to Cali or to Colombia in general to see the beautiful biodiversity. There's
Yes.
almost 2,000 species of birds in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them are in the Valle de Cauca department.
Mm-hmm.
There is a amazing dance culture. Cali is not called the salsa capital of the world for nothing. There is some amazing dances out there. So you
Mm-hmm.
have that. You also have medical tourism. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
don't know, and it's like what I've been working with the health consultant Pilar Diaz
Mm-hmm.
in Cali to help promote medical tourism. Because Cali has some of the best hospitals in the world. Second ranked hospital in the world in
Wow.
Cali.
That's amazing.
So that's good tourism. But then I'm sure you've been seeing the bad tourism
Mm-hmm.
in Medellin, Cartagena, Bogota, and mainly those focused cities in Colombia.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you is it's actually a twofold question. One
Okay.
part of the question is, do you believe an increase in tourism would benefit Cali? And if you do, then how do you focus on that tourism? How uh, how do you focus on that tourism to benefit Cali?
Could you repeat the first question? I'm sorry,
Sure,
the first
sure,
part.
sure, absolutely. Do you believe that tourism, whether it's
Okay.
10%, 20%, 50%, some level of tourism is good for Cali? And if you do, then how do we focus on getting good tourism so you won't have the same issues like what's happening in Medellin
Mm-hmm.
with the sex tourism and the
Yes.
drugs and all of that?
Mm-hmm.
How do we get the good tourism if you believe that tourism is good? It could be good for Cali.
I do feel it could be good if it's done the right way. I feel
Hmm.
like one big thing that because it's so biodiverse, even though you're in the city, you have so many things around you. I feel like ecotourism, environmental tourism is that could be. I think that could be ramped up for
Hmm.
Kali because I mean you have so many beautiful areas just so close to Kali. I mean it sits in the middle. You have the mountains. You're not too far from the there's lakes, there's rivers,
Hmm.
and I feel like they could be showing. I remember going to a place one time with some friends, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was there was a beautiful like a butterfly enclosure, and then there was also a place where you could walk a little bit further, and then there was hummingbirds, a whole bunch of hummingbirds, and they were feeding them, and it was I think it was also in regards to coffee. It's where they it's a coffee like a coffee museum, but
Hmm.
I feel like it would greatly the tourism, that type of tourism would be great for Cali. And I know there's some already established, but I feel like there could be more, more people. And that would give individuals, locals, jobs because I mean, they know the land, the people that live there, they know the land, they know the beautiful, treasures that are there, naturally. And then you have, so that's one. And then, of course, coffee's really big. I mean technically that's more eje cafetero where they is more like the major hub of the coffee, but
Hmm.
you can learn there's different museums and places that you can visit in Cali or on the outskirts of Cali
Hmm.
that that teach people about how coffee is produced. And I also believe too there's also a place that focuses on the sugar cane,
Hmm.
and there's a museum for that. But I feel like but yeah, I feel like ecotourism is a big thing, and I feel like there could be more of that for Cali. I mean, I haven't recently checked it out, but I've been to other places in Colombia, like El Choco, the Pacific, where I mean that's the full major focus of tourism is ecotourism there. You know, it's the oceans and it's the whales, the migration of whales and the frogs. But I feel like Cali has so many. Just Cali itself has so many like endemic animals and just the close radius, like the birds. And so I feel like that would be something that could be good for not only the people coming in, but it's a positive thing. And
Right.
you're letting people know how, you know, how important these animals are, and then also you're giving locals jobs because you know they live there, they know the
Mhm.
land, and I feel like that's a really a big one. That's a big one. So I believe that yes, tourism is good when
Mhm.
it's not, when it's giving to the people that you know their jobs, you know, job security, providing for their families, and they have the knowledge that
Mhm.
somebody, me going in there, I don't know, I don't know about the hummingbirds or the butterflies, but and I'm not saying that they have to be scientists,
Right.
they just know the land, you know,
Yeah.
it's something that they yeah.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with you.
Mhm.
Um, I I I do believe, and I agree with you, the fact that some tourism, maybe not a jump like Medellin had. You know, Medellin. I mean, they almost doubled their tourism over the last 5 years.
Mhm.
Now, obviously, they're running into problems now, and some of that
Yes.
there's a shift in tourism culture. I would say,
Mhm.
if I may say, this happening in Medellin right now. But I will say, I believe tourism is a good thing if
Mhm.
it's positive.
Yes.
I mean, look, Medellin is a beautiful city. The roads are. I just have to be honest. The roads are better than Cali
Yeah, they
roads.
are. It's more developed. I feel like Medellin
More
is
developed.
has more development. Mhm.
Right, more developed. Obviously, prices have increased, Bianca. That hasn't been favorable, but you know, I will say tourism can help. I look at some of the, you know, like in El Centro, some of the buildings, the older buildings in Cali, and I always think like if some good tourism came to Cali, I think the infrastructure of Cali could improve,
Yes, yes.
including the roads, the buildings,
Yeah, I
even
agree.
some of the federal buildings. I think those that money from the tourism could help
Mhm.
tremendously.
Yes.
Um, However, if it's the wrong kind of tourism, again, the effects is what we're looking at right now on social media, on YouTube, on even the news, where we
Mhm.
see these guys are trying to go and find these ladies and they're getting drugged, you know, and it's bringing negative publicity to Colombia and
Mhm.
specifically these cities, Medellin, Cartagena. So
Mhm.
I do believe if Cali can stay away from that tourism, then the
Mhm.
negative tourism, I think Cali will be just fine with maybe a 10, 15, 20% increase in tourism. And
Mhm.
again, I think that money, if allocated properly, can be a positive benefit.
Yes, and I wanted to add that I also feel that the way the tourism is now in Cali, because you know people also go there for, you know, for the salsa. I mean, it's the
Hmm.
capital of the world, and they're going there strictly for that. And I feel that that the locals, no matter what walk of life they're from, they it makes them feel really good to know that, oh, they want to come and see our city. Um, and I feel like it's a positive. It's a great, right now. It's a great relationship with the locals, with the, you know, the and the tourists, you know,
Hmm.
whatever time, no matter what they're going there for, whether it be, you know, ecotourism, or they want to learn about the salsa, or they want to the coffee, and I so they it's a win-win, and it brings the morale of the city up as well. And I feel like you said, I agree with you. I feel like once that happens even more, those different areas of Cali that need to be improved, or maybe sadly we don't want them all to be demolished, like for
Right.
example the downtown, those old buildings are, I mean, this is before you go, it's close to where the boulevard, the rio
Yes. like Plaza Casero. I think that's how you say it. It's like in that
Yes.
area where you see the statues, and it's near La Ermita, the cathedral,
Yes.
the church. Yes, yes, I'm
Yes.
very familiar
And
with
you
that
see those beautiful old, I guess, I mean, I get it. They were from they was from another time,
area.
but
Hmm.
those buildings are just sitting there.
Yeah.
And sadly, they're if they don't get fixed, they're just gonna crumble. They're gonna crumble.
Yes.
They're gonna and it breaks my heart whenever
Hmm.
we'd be walking because my father likes to walk everywhere. I
Hmm.
would see that and I'm like, why aren't they doing anything with that? But maybe there's just no money. Maybe there's no, I mean, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, or the city doesn't have the resources,
Yeah.
and that's an important part of the city because it's the
Hmm.
past, but you want to hold that. And
Right.
so that's just example. I just see, yeah, like you said, parts of the and other areas. It's like
Hmm.
that would improve, I believe,
Hmm.
with more money coming in from tourism,
Yeah.
healthy tourism.
Healthy tourism, exactly. And
Hmm.
I think Cali has the capacity to be able
Hmm.
to handle a little bit more tourism. Again, I'm not saying the tourism like Medellin over the last 5 years. I think that's the problem with Medellin
Hmm.
is they just doubled in tourism overnight, and I don't think they could handle it. And it was
Yeah.
tourism that they couldn't manage or control. But
Hmm.
a little bit of tourism, again, 10 to 20% increase, a bump up in tourism.
Hmm.
I think would do Cali a worlds of good. Um, it's like you said, to be able to take some of those older buildings, just give them a facelift. Just
Hmm.
put a several million, or I guess it would be trillion pesos into just painting them, just making them look nice. Because again,
Hmm.
that is your historic area, and so I
Hmm.
totally agree with you. I do believe that Cali is slightly increasing in tourism. I know over the last 5 years, I have seen more Americans. When I first
Hmm.
went there during COVID, Bianca, it was like a couple of days before I saw any Americans.
Really.
And
Hmm.
now I might see like one American per day, like in the gym or somewhere else. So I
Hmm.
know more Americans and Europeans are definitely
Hmm.
traveling to Cali more. Um, I will say this because I know this is a concern. I know a lot of people in Cali are concerned with gentrification,
Yeah.
and I totally understand. And
Hmm.
that's why I say I don't think Cali should increase in tourism significantly
Yes.
because there are Europeans that will pay double or triple the prices. There are
Hmm.
Americans that will definitely go and pay $15, $10, $15 for a beer or equivalent in
Yes.
pesos.
Hmm. Hmm.
So again, I think that's what has to be managed. But I think you manage that with these are the things that Cali offers. Like you said,
Hmm.
dancing, biodiversity. We have the Petronio Alvarez Festival coming up.
Hmm.
And if you focus your tourism on those things, you can increase it with more activities, but
Hmm.
still get the core positive, healthy tourist that you want.
Hmm. I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Now, let's. I'm going to play devil's advocate for a minute because we've been talking about tourism, and I'm going to say that I am the guy in America, or Europe or Canada, that's listening to this podcast right now, and it sounds good, and I want to go to Cali, but it's not safe. So what do
Hmm.
you say to that person right now?
Well, to that person, I would say, you need to find individuals. You got to do your research. You do find individuals that that are in that field, the tourism field, that you can trust. I mean, like the friend of a friend of a friend. Like for me, I have my father. My father lives there. So whenever I tell my friends, you should go, da da da, and they're like, oh, I don't know. I've been hearing this crazy stuff goes on in Cali and all over Colombia. And I said, well, you find somebody that is, and I know you have to do your vetting, but you find somebody that is a local, that is legit, that has been established, and those, and they can be like your tour person. And you just have to
Mhm.
make sure that you go to the place. You just you there's a it's a protocol that's different than it is here. because the inflation is so high and the cost of living and the unemployment rate is so high. You do have individuals that are looking to see where they can rob somebody or whatever. But
Mhm.
that you just have to make sure that you go to places where it's safe, also where it's safe, but also it's kind of like who you know. I mean, you have to really do your research. You can't just say I'm going to go to Cali in 2 weeks and just hop on a plane and not have any like a game plan of where you're going and what you're going to do. You have to research hotels unless you have somebody that's a family member or a friend. But when you do have those people, they can guide you, and they can tell
Mhm.
you where it's safe to be and where it's not. And then you just have to realize that what maybe works where you live now, it's not the same protocol,
Mhm.
in Cali or in any other country. And you can't I mean, I'm kind of going off on a tangent, but you just have to do your research. You have to and I would tell them, it is safe if you use good judgment,
Mhm.
and you also see, who's there, that maybe you have a family member or a friend that's
Mhm.
gone before. Like, I'm sure you're a huge advocate of Kali and the culture. And you can recommend places, and where to go and where not to go, and maybe you can go somewhere like during the day, but
Mhm.
after hours you wouldn't want to go there. Like, I mean, for example, my when I'm there, my father, sometimes I've gone on the meal by myself, and you see the city more. I mean, it takes longer to get to places than a taxi, but he gives me protocol, what you got, to do, and then make sure you're back by a certain time. And I just feel like all that to say that it can be safe, but you have to do your research and you have to use
Mhm.
your good judgment and talk to people that are locals there and get guidance from them. I don't know if that really totally answered the question,
No,
but they
absolutely. Yeah.
all have
Yeah.
to do with each other.
Absolutely. You're exactly right. And so, you know, I would tell that person also, that's why you have Cali Culture platform, the Travel to Cali platform,
Yes.
is there's a travel guide out there that tells you these are the places you should go, these are the places you should get your Airbnb or your hotel in,
Mhm.
and these are the places you probably, as a tourist, as a foreigner, you probably want to stay away from. So there's
Yes.
information out there.
Mm-hmm.
To all the viewers that want to go to Cali, feel free. You can go to Cali. Um, there is this expression that's used highly in Cali, no dar papaya.
Yep.
So, you shouldn't be wearing anything expensive. You shouldn't have designer bags, uh, very expensive gold and all of that. Jewelry is
Hmm.
you're going to make yourself a target.
Yes.
Otherwise, I've been going to Cali for over 5 years and I haven't had a problem. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't get papaya. I know
Mm-hmm.
where to go. I know where
Mm-hmm.
not to go. I have all this research, this information in a travel guide. All you have to
Yes.
do is go to traveltocali.com and get the travel guide. Even if you want to book a consultation with me, even if you want to do a walking tour, or have people can do a walking tour for you. Talk to Bianca. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of resources that you can take advantage of.
Yes.
You can educate yourself to a point where you can feel comfortable with taking a trip to Cali.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, I 100% agree exactly what you're saying, Bianca. Um, there's places in Memphis I wouldn't go to. There's places in LA definitely wouldn't go
Yes.
to. That I wouldn't wear a blue or red or anything like that. you know,
Definitely.
it's a lot of things that you just have to educate yourself on before you
Mm-hmm.
make the trip. And if you do that, if you make that investment to educate yourself, you're gonna have a great time.
Yeah, and I agree. And so I know another thing too is that, even if you're traveling alone, you got to find a group that
Hmm.
I'm sure you give a lot of information about that, groups that you
Hmm.
have already established there in Cali, that they can like reach out to, different,
Right.
depending on what they like to do, whether it be, hiking, or,
Hmm.
sightseeing, or going to different places and dancing,
Hmm.
salsa, and yeah, it's you have to be prepared. You have to make preparations, and That makes a difference. That makes a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Oh, and even if you're traveling on, by yourself, you can feel confident that, when you meet up with these groups, they
Mhm.
have your best interests, in mind, and they're not going to steer you wrong.
Absolutely. That is
Hmm.
100% right. You know, there's something big that's happening in tourism is what they call solo female travelers. A lot
Hmm.
of women are traveling by themselves. They're not waiting on a guy or a group. They're just traveling by themselves. Um,
Hmm.
you know, I I'm all for traveling, and I think women should travel, but you just have to be very, very careful. And that's why these groups and these travel guides and the walking tours are important
Hmm.
because you never want to make yourself a target. To be honest, the woman is always going to be a little bit more of a target than the guy. So, um,
Always.
yeah. So I definitely, I think overall, Cali is safe if you know where to go. Now, uh,
Yes.
in all honesty, it just kind of depends on the election and the politics. There could be some things happen. Hopefully, our fingers are crossed and praying that it doesn't. But
Yeah.
you just have to be safe. You have to be aware of what's going
Hmm.
on from a geopolitical perspective as well. You got to keep all those things in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when you're traveling. So that's all a part of it.
Definitely.
Well, Bianca, we have reached the end of our show. This has been an excellent show, by the way. Great conversation. You have a great perspective, interesting perspective on everything. Is there any final last words that you have to the viewers? That words of wisdom. I'm going to give the floor to you for the next couple of minutes.
Well, I feel, thank you. I feel that if you want to go, if people out there want not only an adventure, but a whole nother shift in how you view life and excitement but pure bliss, go to Kali. Kali's magical. It's magical.
Yeah.
It's always been magical. I mean, um even like I said, if I didn't have like I said, I'm a little bit biased because I have my father there, but it I see it through the eyes. I see when I see tourists and they're there and they're like wide eyed open, like they're just like taking it all in and they're so excited. I mean, it is like it's like a Kali is a beautiful place. And you you see how life can be lived in a different way.
Mhm.
And it's just amazing. I mean, whenever when I tell people, they're like, oh, you're half, because half Colombian. I'm like, yeah, and I go, my dad lives in Cali, and they're like, oh, where's Cali? They used to say, I heard in Medellin and
Yeah.
Bogota. I go Cali, and I brag on Cali. I'm like, I go, Cali's the best.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even mention lo más is lomo. I don't do what they say, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to go to Cali, because
Yeah.
one thing that's beautiful that I learned and I saw from my dad is that Cali's has the unique aspect that you have people in Cali that are from all over Colombia. They come
Hmm.
from the Pacific, they come from the Atlantic, they come from the Eje Cafetero, they come from different areas because they want maybe they're to seek employment. So you literally have a melting pot in Cali of all the people of Colombia. That's why
Hmm.
you see so many different types of like skin colors and facial structure and then you have the indigenous. It's like it's a melting pot, and they bring all their customs and all their culture and all that's beautiful to them with them. So literally it's like the melting pot, like it's kind of like a New York, not
Hmm.
as huge and as as like
Right.
the skyscrapers like New York, but it is a melting pot. And those people, all of them make Cali what it is. And like I said, it's not just one group, it's all different groups that come from all over Colombia. It's a melting pot, and it shows in the music, in the food, in the celebrations. It's just go to Cali.
Go to
You will
Cali.
not regret it, and you will want to. It'll, like they say, it'll take your heart.
I agree.
It will have your heart, and everything else will be dull and lackluster after that, because getting excited because it's just you feel that energy, and it's because of the people.
Mhm.
But you're able to experience it, and there's nothing like it.
I agree. Go to Cali. We have a
Yes.
comment, by the way. I wanted to acknowledge the comment. Thanks for sharing this live. So it's Musa Masood Rana. Thanks for the comment. Yes, absolutely. We want to continue doing these podcasts and have wonderful guests like Bianca. Bianca, I can tell you love Cali like I do. So, hey, when
Yes.
the next time you going to Cali, by the way?
I'm hoping to go. I haven't been there a long time during the Christmas holidays, but I'm hoping
Mhm.
to go in December. I have not been
Excellent.
to it during the holidays and many years. I usually go in the summertime. Sadly,
Mhm.
I'm not able to go this summer, but that's my goal.
Excellent.
Christmas. Hmm.
Well, I hope to see you in Cali soon. And there's so much to do at that time of the year.
Oh.
For December. I mean, it is absolutely amazing. For those of you that haven't been to the let's see, Fera de Cali, you just have to
Mm.
go. That is amazing. There's just two events that you have to do in Cali:
Hmm.
Petronio Alvarez, Fera de Cali.
Yes.
Those are just like opportunities where it's just like it's hard to describe the amount of excitement and joy it's going to bring to your life at that time is well worth the little plane ticket and hotel or Airbnb. It's amazing. So
I've never been to the Petronio Alvarez, and I've heard it's fascinating. So you've experienced that.
no, actually, this will be my first year.
Wow.
I am going in August, and this is going to be
Nice.
my first year, and I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat right now. I can't wait. I had a friend of mine that went on my behalf that got me some good videos that I could post on the podcast last year.
I saw
And
that.
I was so mad, Bianca, that I'm sitting here looking at the videos like, wow,
I could have been there.
I could have been there exactly. But yeah, I'll definitely will be there this year, and I like I said, I can't wait. Just the culture, the diversity, the drinks, the
Mhm.
food, everything, all that and above. So it's going to be an amazing time. But again, thank you very much, Bianca, for coming on the show. Excellent job, and again, you had a great perspective on everything, and we definitely share the love for Cali. I will continue, obviously, to promote good tourism and to show Cali in its good light. And we'll definitely have to have you back on the show another time if you're available and you want to.
Thank
So
you. I've enjoyed this
absolutely.
experience. It's been great. It's been wonderful, and I'm going to be recommending all my friends to your channel.
Thank you very much. The support is much appreciated.
Mhm.
Well, folks, that's another good show in the books. We obviously have another good show for you next week. Before I wrap up, I did want to say if you ever want to donate, whether it be a small donation, large donation, whatever, to keep our podcast going, keep the good, positive content going, you can always do that. You can look at the donation information below on the screen, whether you use Bill, Cashmo, or Cash App, Venmo, all of those good software programs, and all donations are always helpful to be able to keep the lights on. So much appreciated in advance. But we do have a great show for you next week. It is going to be a returning guest. Pilar Diaz, the health traveler consultant, is going to be back on the show because we have an amazing event that we want to tell you about. It is along with the Petronio Alvarez event, and it's going to be cultural tourism and medical tourism combined in one great package where you're going to be able to go to the Petronio Alvarez Festival and partake not just of the festival, you're going to have VIP access to behind the stage and be able to meet all of the performing acts and all the musicians. Also, you're going to have spa treatment. You're going to have a hotel included in the package. You're going to have all your major health care screening done, including MRIs, EKGs, X-rays, tests for cancer, all of the things that you need to make sure that you are in healthy, perfect shape. You're going to have all that screening done because it's so important and it costs so much in the United States. So you're going to get a very, very good deal. We're going to tell you all about it next week on the podcast, same time, same place, Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. With that being said, folks, have a great rest of your Saturday. Always remember, embrace the culture, love the culture, respect the culture. Cali is Cali. See you the next time. Hasta luego. Thank you for watching the Cali Culture Podcast with Jeremy Preston. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week for our next episode.